Former U.S. President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama are speaking out together for the first time about speculation they were getting a divorce. They joked about the rumors during an episode of her podcast released on Wednesday. CNN's Arlette Saenz has the story.
It's my husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Barack and Michelle Obama, one of the world's most famous power couples, are taking on the rumors about their marriage with humor.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room
I
together.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
For months, speculation about their marriage has run rampant, fueled in part by the former president's appearances without his wife by his side, including President Donald Trump's second inauguration.
People couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume that my marriage was falling apart.
Right.
Now, for the first time, the Obamas are speaking out together on the former First Lady's podcast to shoot down those rumors of divorce.
These are the kinds of things
Yeah.
that I just miss,
Mhm.
right? So I don't
Yes.
even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then
just-
somebody will mention it to me, and I'm all like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times. So we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay, don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
The Obamas met in 1989, working at a law firm in Chicago. They married 3 years later and had 2 daughters.
I love you, Daddy.
Their marriage thrust into the public spotlight as his political ambitions carried them to the White House.
I would not be standing here tonight without the unyielding support of my best friend for the last 16 years, the rock of our family, the love of my life, the nation's next First Lady.
But between the dancing and the kiss cameras, the couple also has spoken about their struggles.
She wasn't the one who chose this life. We went through our rough patches.
I don't want people looking at me and Barack like hashtag couples goals and not know that, no, there are some broken things that happen even in the best of marriages.
And over the years, the Obamas have shared tips for making their nearly 33-year marriage work.
I was one of those wives who thought, I'm taking you to marriage counseling so you can be fixed, Barack Obama, because I was like, I'm perfect. But marriage counseling was a turning point for me, understanding that it wasn't up to my husband to make me happy.
I was in a deep deficit with my wife, so I have been trying to dig myself out of that hole by doing occasionally fun things.
Arlette Saenz, CNN, Washington.
President Obama and his wife Michelle publicly acknowledging the rampant rumors that their marriage has been on the rocks. The whispers about that got a lot louder in January after the former First Lady did not attend Jimmy Carter's funeral or President Trump's inauguration. The couple is now trying to put the issue to bed in the latest episode of her podcast, IMO, with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson. It comes days after Barack Obama made headlines for Democrats at a private fundraiser to toughen up as the party struggles to find an effective messaging strategy. Meghan Hayes, Michelle was also very direct about this. I want to watch. She basically said that she never entertained the possibility of divorce. Let's watch that.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times. So we had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Well, so that was very heartfelt and nice. But that sort of beginning, interesting. Clearly, they did that on purpose, or at least it certainly felt that way. What do you make of the fact that they felt compelled to do this in public?
I mean, I think there's a few things. I think they were tired of the rumors. It's gotten out of control of who's having an affair with who, and it's just all over the tabloids. But I also think it's extremely smart. She has a podcast. They are driving people to her podcast. We are all now talking about it and talking about her podcast. So, I mean, she is doing what everyone else is doing in the news and driving people to their platforms to hear information that everyone is kind of obsessed with them and the state of their marriage, apparently.
Adam Kinzinger, you're a public figure. I mean, you've had, I don't know that you've had rampant rumors in the tabloids about the state of your marital life, but you certainly have experienced a version of what they're going through. What do you make of it?
Look, I feel bad for them because it's like, particularly once you're out of office, I think really you shouldn't be the subject of that rampant speculation. I mean, I get it. It's going to happen. Why didn't she go to the inauguration? Because she didn't have to, right? And plus, if you're going to get divorced, I think you can still go to the inauguration if you want to kind of keep things up, if you want to keep up appearances. I think she's just been clear. It's kind of her post-political life. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you, you look through social media and you see rumors about yourself all the time, and you have to learn to get thick skin about it. But it does bother you. It can get there and bother you after a while. And so I can see how, for them, being hit over and over and over again, they're like, let's just talk about it.
Zolan?
I mean, that last point, let's just talk about it. It seems like a sort of 101 for comms is if there's a void of information, others will fill it, right? Whether that's people on social media or people coming in with their assumptions. And here you see them trying to fill that void of information with their own conversation, even if it is their own podcast as well, and not an interview with a reporter.
Yeah. Brad, I'm curious what you make of that idea, right? Because the classic old school PR strategy would be to just ignore it, right? If you're doing this, you're adding fuel to the fire, you're causing people like us to sit around and talk about it. But Donald Trump in politics certainly pioneered a different way of doing things, which is to flood the zone, take it head on. What do you make of this as, I mean, yes, he is out of office, but it doesn't mean that they don't have any political skin in the game.
Yeah, they still want influence. I think it's a great example of narrowcasting. The people that they care about, whose opinions they care about this, are people who listen to her podcast. That's the base of the base for the Obamas. And so they wanted to address it for those people, but they don't feel a need to go on television and address it or do it in print because that's the broadcast. This is a narrowcast world we're in right now. And I also think they're entitled to their privacy. I mean, I think the sharks are going to get jealous because instead of Shark Week, we're talking about somebody else's personal life. But I think they're entitled to their privacy. And if they want to tell us good or bad what's going on with them, they can.
Megan, the other piece of this, of course, Barack Obama has been very careful in how he's involved himself in politics in his post-presidential life. And he did address a bunch of donors for the New Jersey and Virginia races. And someone was on our set earlier this week saying that he basically was scolding Democrats, telling them to toughen up. Whoopi Goldberg weighed in on this on The View. Let's watch what she said.
When we had the giant marches that went on, it was the people. The people went out. They were not navel gazing. It was older people who were saying, why are you touching my Social Security? It was not people whining. It was about people saying, why are you taking these rights from my child when my child was born here? This has not been about Democrats laying back. This has been about y'all. I believe you are pointing the finger at the wrong person when you say Democrats.
What do you make of that?
I think we keep pointing the finger at each other all the time, and the Obamas and the former president has been very clear that he is stepping back because he is not in leadership, and he wants leadership to be making these decisions and be the leader. And whoever is going to be the nominee in 28 needs to become the leader of the party, and it's not going to be him. So I think he's providing private advice behind the scenes, which I think we've all heard about. But I also think she's right to the extent of Democrats are out there fighting, and they're the ones who win on those marches, the No King rally, and they're the ones that are out there, and those are the ones that are continuing to fight. And so it's not just leadership that's in charge here that should be fighting. It should be everyone. Everyone should be concerned about what's going on in our country right now.